The energy company, which has been given permission to extract shale gas in North Yorkshire, has insisted it will be safe, but environmental campaigners have promised to fight on, potentially looking at legal action after councillors approved the first fracking in the UK since 2011. Estelle Dehon is an environmental law barrister at Cornerstone Barristers. She's representing people living in Roseacre Wood in Lancashire in their judicial review of fracking in filed. And you were also, Estelle, you were also involved in an inquiry in Blackpool where Quadrilla want to frack at two sites, weren't you?
Yes, that's correct. That's the other live fracking application that's on the go at the moment.
Yeah. We've talked on the programme already about the sort of pros and cons about, you know, what people are worried about, and obviously this company, Third Energy, saying that it is going to be safe. But so just tell us legally then what the process is that you will go through now. This decision has been made. The council's made its decision. What can you do? What do you need to prove in order to try and stop it?
So the barristers who are advising local residents and or environmental groups will look at the legal quality, the lawfulness of the decision that's been made. A judicial review challenge, unlike what happened with Quadrilla up in Blackpool, a judicial review challenge can only look at whether there's a legal flaw. So they'll look at questions, for example, like have the committee dealt properly with legal obligations in relation to climate change? Have they dealt properly with issues of planning law and policy, and have they dealt with all the proper considerations like the ecological impact, the potential traffic impact, the potential landscape impact, the potential water impact?
Right, OK, so it wouldn't be anything to do with the number of objections there, because we heard that there were something like 4,300 objections to this case. It wouldn't be anything in terms of considering the volume of opposition that there is against it.
No, just because there are a lot of objections doesn't necessarily mean that an application will be turned down. The question is whether those objections raise issues which are proper issues. That's the first question. And secondly, whether those issues have properly been dealt with by the council. And by all accounts, the objections do raise proper issues, in particular issues about climate change and issues about transport and the impact on local people. And the question for the judicial review will be whether the council has dealt with those questions lawfully.
So a lot of the protesters were saying that they're concerned that this decision here in North Yorkshire could lead to much greater numbers of wells going up all around the country. Do you then expect to be seeing legal challenges? Are you going to be very busy for a while, I suppose? I'm asking you, in all of those cases, should there be a sudden huge increase?
Well, potentially. The challenges will depend on two things. The first is the actual site. So a number of the challenges are specific to this particular site, and you won't get the same type of challenges elsewhere. For example, there's issues about the nearby national park. But there are issues that are particular to fracking, which are likely to raise their heads over and over and over again. Greenhouse gas emissions in particular, methane, public health impact, things like well failure, things like climate change impact. And the real question that is in the air for the fracking industry is that these issues are raised time and time again because they have not properly been dealt with. And the questions that are coming from the United States and the issues that are coming from the United States are simply backing up what local protesters and local environmental groups are saying. And so those will remain issues wherever fracking is in the country.
Yeah, well, we will see. OK, thank you very much. That's Estelle Dehon, who's an environmental law barrister at Cornerstone Barristers. And as I say, the company Third Energy, which has got the go-ahead in North Yorkshire in this case, say that they're going to do it safely and without any problems for the environment.